are here on Jen Mauer's farm, and she is spinning for the Maryland Fleece-to-Shawl Team 2021. She's going to introduce the team now.
Hi, I'm Jen Mauer. I'm part of the Spidget Finners, which used to be the fidget spinners, but in 2020, everything got messed up, and so did our name.
So tell us about your role on the team, Jen.
I am, first of all, the shepherdess of Mary. Her wool was shaved last year, and it was turned into roving at Gertie Run Weaving Mill. It was her and Martha, and that is what we're using for the warp of our design. And this fleece here that's going to be the weft is all Mary.
And she was the sheep that was shown being shorn earlier in our video, right?
Yes. Yes, she is a Jacob, and I got interested in Jacobs because of the biblical aspect of them, that they are supposedly from the tribe of Jacob in the Bible.
Ah, okay. So how did you get interested in the fiber arts?
When I was little, my mom took a cotton ball and pulled it apart and twisted it with her fingers, and that showed me, well, from what she said, this is how yarn and thread are made. And ever since then, I had an interest. At 17, I got Angora rabbits, and from the rabbits, I went and I got a magazine that taught me how to spin. Had a lot of pictures because I couldn't quite understand the reading of it. After that, it came to that I was 19 and bought my first wheel, and I've been spinning close to 40 years ever since.
Wow, wonderful. What is it you like about spinning?
My mind can go somewhere else besides real life.
All right. What has been a challenge for you in doing this as a virtual event?
My challenge is that I don't quite understand text messages. I can't read and understand things so well. It's better off if there's somebody there to show me how or explain it, or if I can be hands-on, I'll learn it myself.
Okay. And so tell us about your involvement in the guild.
I joined the guild back in early 2019. I thought that that was a really cool place to be, and I liked the people, and I liked being with other people who were like-minded like me.
Hi, I'm Margie. I'm with the Lancaster Spinners and Weavers Guild. I am a Spidget Finner for this crazy mixed up world that we're living in right now. So what I'm doing right now is this is some absolutely lovely Jacob fleece, and this is my favorite brush that I use to flick it. It's actually a dog brush, but for me, it's got the perfect bristles. It's fantastic. And I just grab the edge of the fiber, I flick it real fast, I turn it around, hold it nice and tight again, and I flick it real fast. And then I have some absolutely lovely fiber, and then I will take it, and then I will do a quick little pre-draft to try to get it as close to the thickness that I want it. So there we go. So that's ready to go, and I place it on my lap, and I got some more here. And I will quickly flick it with my dog brush. I do have hand cutters and flickers, but my dog brush is absolutely my favorite. The teeth are perfect. And I absolutely love it. And then here we go. I'm just going to pre-draft a little bit this lovely white Jacob fleece. And now, again, it's on my lap, and now I'm ready to spin. So for my spinning, we are going for just under a DK weight because it's going to fluff up, because that is the nature of Jacob. It tends to fluff up when it gets wet. So I'm going just under DK. And the reason I chose my Kromsky is because I have the big bobbin on it, and I could spin a little bit thicker. And I'm doing a short backward draw for my spinning to control the amount of fiber carefully so I get that nice DK weight to my yarn. I guess, you know, it's the hardest thing once you learn to spin thin is to then go back and spin a little thicker. But again, that's why I chose my Kromsky wheel, because it'll be much easier. You can see I have my fiber already on my lap, so it's faster to go. And it's piling up nicely on my bobbin. This was my first spinning wheel by Kromsky. I got it about 3.5 years ago, I guess, 4 years ago. Until then, I had done drop spindle, but I absolutely love this spinning wheel. It's so smooth. You can put the smaller bobbin on it if you wish. And you can see just how absolutely lovely this fleece is. It just spins up so nicely. It is in the grease, but it's a nice clean fleece. It has some springiness to the texture. But it's drafting nicely. And definitely the pre-drafting has helped. It has, you know, saved time. Again, I'm ready to go, pick up the next piece. And there we go. Again, I'm doing a nice short backwards draft to get that DK weight I'm looking for. So I did Sheep-to-Shawl because I was new to the area. And I figured what better way to meet people than to join a guild and do Sheep-to-Shawl. And it's been an absolute blast.
I'm Pam Amond with the Lancaster Spinners and Weavers Guild, and we are the Spidget Finners. Right. Well, yes, we did get a bit spun around, especially this year. It's been quite different. I'm working on the weft yarn, which is a single in a DK weight. And in order to make sure that we're doing that, my husband made us each a little card that shows the different weights, and so you can lay your yarn on there and see if you're a little bit too thin, which it looks like I might be. And then you can adjust your spinning to. And for me, I was the dyer for our warp yarn, and of course we were working on doing it in one of my favorite colors, obviously, which is purple. And we chose this fleece for the depth of its colors so that we could get somewhat of a 3D effect, a popping maybe of the pattern with that type of variance in color of the fleece. So we'll see how that works out for us when we get to weaving it. The challenge that I had, I'm going to stop so I can show you. I made these little flowers for our hair so we would have some common thread and camaraderie. And this is inside part is the part of the warp that we did in a gray overdyed purple, which turned out very nicely. There was a little bit of variance, but it was very nice and it was heathered. And the outside edge I did was white that we overdyed in a more fuchsia purpley color. But you can see there's quite a bit of variance in the dye. And I did it a couple of times. So I actually went as far, because I was getting a little frustrated, I went as far as to take some yarn that I had previously spun of a different breed and put it in a dye pot with the same amount of dye and everything. And it didn't have that appearance. So I'm thinking perhaps that maybe the variance came from the actual differences in the fleece's coloring that are in there that you can't even necessarily see when you're carding or separating it. And you really can't separate it all out. You can see right here, as a matter of fact. Right here is some of the gray, the lighter gray, within my dark colored fiber. And we're just going to enjoy that and let it go right in with it and see how that goes. Of course, with COVID, one of the other challenges was not being able to get together personally, sit together, look at each other's yarns, talk about how we wanted it to look at the pattern, watch the weaver. We had Zoom and everything as best we could, meeting every week, talking throughout the week. And so I'm really proud of our team, and I can't wait to see how our shawl turns out in the end, and I hope it brings joy to whoever wears it.
Hi, my name's Tina Mickley. I'm the weaver for the Spidget Finners team. In 2020, after the Pennsylvania Farm Show, after that competition, we decided that we wanted to use a Jacob fleece in our next sheep-to-shawl. Well, those sheep-to-shawls have been put on hold, and so when this opportunity came up, we thought, now's the time, we're going to go Jacob. I have the loom threaded to a rose path, and the treadling is a rose path variation. The asymmetrical stripe is a design that came from one of our, or an idea that came from one of our guild members, Donna Menser, and we decided that it would work best with a very dark fleece, and that's why we chose Mary, because her dark is very dark. I did a practice shawl earlier in the week. I used gray weft for this. This is also Jacob weft, and you can see that you don't see the design at all. All you see are the stripes and the warp colors. I have the loom set up at 22¼ inches over here, and I have my basket of bobbins as well. We have found working during the pandemic to be an interesting experience, as others have probably said. It's drawn us a lot closer together though, and we've all benefited from the distraction of having something else to think about. We also have 2 additional members on our team that are kind of in the background. Their names are not on the sign, they're not spinning or doing anything like that, but they have been essential, and I just want to mention them as well. Donna Walton-Gibbs and Tracy Beck, who have been our consultants and taken care of odds and ends, and I don't know how we ever did sheep-to-shawls before without having extra people on the team like this. We have found that the Jacob wool is especially springy, and it has a very nice, this fleece anyhow has a very nice hand to it. I've used Jacob before to spin with, and I never really liked it, but this wool is beautiful. We have also found an interesting problem with doing sheep-to-shawl virtually, and that's that you don't have the adrenaline rush during competition, and it really affects your output. And we've encountered that with our spinning and with the weaving as well. At any rate, we are looking forward to the next Maryland Sheep and Wool when we can actually compete in person. Thanks.